We have an amazing Wonderkid for you guys today. He's an Icelandic player, he's a giant, he's the son of a former great football player, and he goes on to be one of the best players in the world in this simulation. Welcome to another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar, everybody. I'm Jake for FMSCOUT, and I've got a striker that has quickly became one of my favourites after doing this simulation. This is a player that looks like he shouldn't do very well in Football Manager, but then when given the tools and the time to develop, can really become a top tier player. So let's get right into it. Let's find this player whilst we look for him. If you can like the video, that would be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. But here he is, Andri Lucas Gudjonsson. We don't usually read too much into the star ratings on Football Manager in these videos, but I've got to admit, it doesn't look great for Gudjonsson here. But stick with us because you're going to see us turn him in to a world beater. Now it looks like if you were another club, anywhere around £5 to £7 million would net you this player. He's got a potential range of 140 to 170, so no matter where he falls on that range, if you can develop him to his peak, you're definitely getting a great option, but we're going to see him absolutely fly today. He's 6'2" and his physicals certainly suit that target forward role. His mentals aren't too bad either, but nothing crazy. And then technically some nice ones in there. That heading ability is going to be very powerful for us, but he doesn't look all that good just yet, but that will change. If you want to know, he is the son of former Chelsea and Barcelona player Eidur Gudjonsson, and I actually believe in real life he has now left Real Madrid, so his club will be different on FM23, but the 19-year-old definitely needs some work, so we're going to get right into that and show you the training routine and the tactic that we're putting him in to make him as good as possible. We're going to be using a 4-4-2 diamond vertical tiki-taka system with Gudjonsson up top as a complete forward. Now it looks like it should not work at all in terms of his ability to play that role, but when you actually look at it, he's actually got most of what he needs to be effective in that area. Usually with the complete forward role, if a player hasn't been trained there, even if they do have the right attributes, the game's going to show it as them not being able to play that role at all. But we are training him in that position. You could definitely use him as a deep line forward or a target forward, but I just thought we could make a very good complete forward out of this guy with a bit of development. Now he is 19, so he's further along in his development than some, and that means it will probably take a little bit longer for him to reach his maximum potential, but you're going to see him at his lower range at 140 in a few seconds. But before we do, let me tell you a little bit about today's video sponsor. And once again, it is the guys over at Spitch sponsoring the video. They're awesome. They give us a lot of support, so a big shout out to them. But what is Spitch, you might be asking? If you haven't already heard, let me tell you a little bit about it. Spitch is a fantasy football app available for people in the UK, Ireland, Germany and Austria if you are over the age of 18. There's many benefits of Spitch compared to standard fantasy football. You actually pick your teams for individual weekly tournaments, which is a lot different to the season-long format of standard fantasy game, which can get you kind of sucked into it and you can often forget and get bored halfway through. But Spitch allows unlimited transfers and picking your side for individual game weeks, but now Spitch is even better. They've added the season mode. Now there's a free version of this with a jackpot at the end of it, and also a paid version, which as you can imagine will have a larger jackpot, but both jackpots are still absolutely fantastic. The season mode counts all of your scores across the course of a season and takes your top 5 results. It's super easy to get involved. You just need to click the link in the description, register onto the platform, and you're good to go. And then you've got the season mode as well as plenty of other tournaments that you can enter, and I'm sure you guys will absolutely love it. So check it out. Thank you to Spitch. Now let's check out Gudjonsson as he gets a little bit older on the lower end of that potential range. And here we are in 2023. Gudjonsson has played 2 seasons at the club and he has made some massive leaps to get to the position that he's in right now. And I will give a few disclaimers when we check him out, because what a player, considering where he was earlier. Now this physical growth isn't completely unexpected because he is a young player and their physicals develop a lot quicker, but his mentals have also become very balanced and his technicals have got a lot better too. Probably far better than they should have done, and I think the reason for that is obviously in these simulations we force a player to play football. We want the assistant to play this person as many times as possible, so it's going to be different to your game, but that's for every single Wonderkid we do here. For every player we also put their potential ability rating to the maximum of their range, so in this case Gudjonsson got put to 170, and I think because he started off so low in that range, the game is trying to accelerate his growth, which has then given him some crazy attribute increases. You actually might be able to get this result as well. I'm just saying that this might be slightly unrealistic for 2 years of growth, but what a player. he is becoming. He's now getting caps for Iceland, where he's got 1 goal in 9 games. They're probably not playing him in the best role, and of course Iceland aren't a team that are going to score many goals unless it's against England in the Euros back in the day. But he's actually been firing on all cylinders for Real Madrid, particularly in his most current year. Now Real Madrid, of course, is a very good club. It's a club where he's going to be doing very well, playing with some great players and winning most of his matches. But 22 goals in 38 appearances and 8 goals in 16 in his last season is nothing shabby at all. Now Goalscoring is developing well. He's scoring goals, but he's about to go to the complete next level. So let me show you him a little bit down the line and just prepare yourself for this. So we're here in 2028 and Goalscoring is the key player at the club. So let's check out this absolute monster, and he looks phenomenal. I'm going to explain how we got him to this level in a second, but one quick thing whilst you look at his attributes, if you would like to, you can check out my channel in the description where we've got a long-term save with Villarreal as well as some one-off rebuilds. We recently did a Manchester United one that I'm very happy with. We're also getting very close to 9,000 subscribers over there, so if you want to come over, show your support, hit the subscribe button. Thank you to anyone who does check it out, but wow, Andre Lucas Goalscoring has become an absolute monster. He's got a 5-star rating at the club, and I'll talk about why I think that is in a second, but let's start off with those attributes. He's 26 at this point, so he's still got loads of years left ahead of him in his prime, but he is now at that 170 ability rating. His physicals are out of this world. He's strong, naturally fit with great jumping reach in the air, and he's actually quite quick and agile for a man of his size. He's not crazy tall, but this is still very impressive, and his mentals have balanced out great as well. We were mentoring him with some of the better heads at the club, but this is still some very nice growth. But technically he is near enough flawless in the areas that we want. Great technique and passing, amazing heading and finishing, some great first touch too, and he can even dribble if you want him to. It says he's an elite striker, and I think it's hard to disagree. In terms of his goal scoring escapades, he has been smashing them in for Real Madrid, and in the most recent season he has scored 39 goals in 38 league appearances with nearly an 8 average match rating, 13 assists, 13 player of the match awards. What a player. Remember, he's playing in a 2 up front, which I don't usually do, but I just thought for a player of his size as a target forward, complete forward, I want someone else playing off him, and he has done so well. I think his goal scoring escapades in the most recent season have caused his star rating to be so high. Add on to the fact that I imagine he's got a load of homegrown things going for him at Real Madrid, and that also affects the star rating of a player. That's the reason you're seeing him at 5 stars, but he is phenomenal. Look at him in every single role here. In terms of how I got him to score so many goals, I really didn't do too much. After the first couple of seasons, I checked in on him and I adjusted the tactic a little bit to have a positive mentality and switched a few of the roles around. I gave us a mezzala, I changed the other striker to a pressing forward instead of a false 9, and it seems to have really benefited Goalscoring, whose role hasn't changed too much. So I think having those players playing off him will really help him out, and the vertical tiki-taka is also very beneficial to a player of his caliber and his nature, and I just think he has done so well. But it gets even better because I actually have a save at the end of his career where we can see how many goals he scored and if he won any Ballon d'Ors. And I think it's pretty safe to say he's likely going to have won a couple, because since that amazing season for us, he has kept on scoring goals. Not as many as we saw before, but there was another season where he scored more goals in games, and this is only in the league. 360 career goals in the league, and I'm sure he's got plenty in other competitions too. Let's not forget the fact that he's chipping in with way more assists than you often see a striker getting. It's the benefits of being in a 2 up top formation in that complete forward role. So he really is a massive part of this team, and even at the age of 33, still classed as the best player at the club, 5-star player with 80 appearances for Iceland and 48 goals. That is very impressive for a club whose world ranking is only 71st in the world. But what did that do for our man? Did he win any Ballon d'Ors? Are we getting a Ballon d'Or for a player from Iceland? It would be very impressive if so, and in all honesty, I haven't checked this yet, so we'll be finding out together. Let's see if he has won any awards. We've got a World Player of the Year. I'm pretty sure that is the Ballon d'Or equivalent, and they are in recent seasons as well. And then in this season, he scored 41 in 48, beating a 36-year-old Mbappe and a 34-year-old Haaland to the title. Looks like no good new gens have came through yet, because no one seems to be competing for that Ballon d'Or, but Man City having Mbappe and Haaland in the same team, that is dangerous. World Golden Ball is the same. I always get confused which one is the Ballon d'Or, but Goalscoring has won it again, and he has been one of the best strikers in world football, and you're not surprised really with those kind of goal scoring feats that he has won a Ballon d'Or. Very impressive from the Icelandic international. Let me know if you've tried him out. I don't think I've seen too many people giving him a go, and I think it is because he doesn't look very good at the start, and it seems like it's going to be a big step to get him to a high level, but he can certainly get there. I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10. I still think he's a bit pricey for the player that you see right at the start, and even though he does have potential, it's a lot of money to invest on a player that just doesn't look like he's going to do anything for your team for a few years. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out mine in the description whilst you're at it. Thank you to Spitch for sponsoring the video, but most of all, have a great day everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.